Hi everyone, welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, and today, well, we are at the old auction again, and very familiar place for me because I've been here a bunch of times. They're actually currently closed right now, but you can still get in here, so to go check out some of the stuff. However, unfortunately, because they're closed, I cannot grab the keys that my buddy wanted me to grab to actually check out if some of these vehicles runs or anything. So, but let's go check it out. So we're going to be starting in the bike slash quads and whatever else section. So this right here, actually, I was a little interested in this. It's going to go for more money than I have because I am broke right now. But this is a Honda Dream. Now these are built on a moped, sort of like, they're kind of like a moped, but not really. They're a smaller motorcycle, right? And they are so cool. They were made in the 60s and not for a terribly long time. I think it was like from 64 to like 72 or something like that, but this one's not in bad shape at all. Got a little bit of paint chips here, so that's the primer underneath, but so it's been painted. The exhaust is in good shape. The engine doesn't look too bad. It's a sweet old bike, honestly. And it looks like it is a kickstart. Yeah, because there's the kicker there. And it doesn't use a key by the looks of it, so you could just fire it right up, right? Like, because I believe... Oh, maybe not. Oh, that might be with the clutch. Never mind, that's the shifter. My bad. So it probably is an electric start somewhere on here. Probably one of these buttons anyways. You'd have to figure it out. But really cool regardless. Let's see. Moving along here. There is one thing. I thought it was over here, but maybe it's on the other side. But like, you know, they have a bunch of old dirt bikes, stuff like that. They have this kind of ratty bike here. Check out this hodgepodge of a thing. You know, it's got some sort of a weird fuel tank on it that's plastic. Mounted to a piece of wood on the bike. Oh, that'd be a DOT failure. It says it's a 125R. It's a Honda from Thailand, 2008. Geez, from 2008 and it already looks like this? My God, and even like the seat is not even bolted down. It's just... Oh God, I love what people do with their stuff, right? It is just fantastic. This is what I was looking for. So he was asking, like, my buddy was asking me if this was a child's or a adult size. And, well, I mean, I can spread my legs out and it fits the wheelbase, so there's that. You know, it has the engine's there, because let's pull the pin here and pull this off. So okay, yeah, chain drive out back. So the engine's not hooked up in this thing, so it's just one of these dealios, right? But pretty neat, honestly. I'll fix this in a second here. There we go. And then put the pin back in. There you go, just like that. So the engine needs to be hooked up. I don't know what this engine even is at all, but interesting. It's a tiny little thing. Looks to be relatively complete for this little motor for this thing, but it's definitely quite the project here. So now if you ask me, hey, what is this? I don't know. This is obviously some kind of a homebrew job. But this is you just like a pull start. And yep, that all works. It's very tight. So it could be greased up a bit, but that's all right. I'm not seeing any brakes on this puppy. Or maybe there is. Maybe actually that'd be the brake. There. Yeah. Well, the brake sticks. Or actually, this will be the brake. Yeah, that's the brake. So the throttle sticks, but it's not hooked up or anything, to be fair. So, all right, and it feels like it's doing something out back. So, got a decent sized fuel tank on the side. That's pretty sweet. I'll put this all back together, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, and now we are at the stuff. So actually, let's go check out. We'll check out that Chevy in a second here, because that one's really cool. But check out this Toyota, because if I remember correctly, this thing has like over 400K on it, if memory serves. Maybe even 500K. There's a vehicle in here that's like really, really high miles, and I just can't remember which one it was. Maybe been this. As it unlocked, hey, it is. It is a 4x4 stick. So you know what's really funny? Because even though you don't have the key for this, you could start this thing just by bump starting it. It looks like they actually left it in gear. So it looks like it's either in first or second, or in reverse. That way, or second. And you know, the locking hubs here. This thing's pretty sweet. Not that bad of shape. It's got a little bit of, you know, rot here, and I'm sure underneath these fender flares, it's probably pretty rotten. Case in point, yeah, you can see a little bit if I push it. So, oh, you know, nice little bed liner in it. Oh, and it's got the hey, look, you can break in so easily. Oh, it's not even locked. Oh, well, I guess you can open it that much, but then these are like stupid easy to break into with those. So, as you can see, but yeah, pretty cool truck. You know, power windows, power mirrors, and stuff. Yeah, and it's showing, yeah, 412,000 kilometers on it. Pretty nuts, and I bet it's absolutely fine. Pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. Then, the one next to it is a 71 C10 step side. Now, this thing is pretty sweet, but, you know, rockers are gone. Bottom of the door is kind of gone, too. Cab corner's gone. Oh, they locked it. Oh, that's fine. But it is a stick shift too. In there, it's got all its gauges, you know, battery temperature. It does not have a tach though. So one thing it's missing, because they did not tick off that option. And now, because this is a 71, well, they didn't have an option for, or like standard was a wooden bed floor. Now, people put metal bed floors in them, and I think you can maybe order one that way. But if you just wanted to go to your dealership and buy one, I don't believe you can actually get a metal bed floor, but I could be wrong. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet rig, and I'm a big fan of this. Heck yeah. Love it. You know, a lot of Bondo. Good old Bondo. Yeah, and you can just hear the rust. Now, the big question is, well, is this just one of those? Oh, it is too. There is the old, probably 250, might be a 235, with the removable intake, and it's a non-cross flow, so it's both on the same side. Wow, look at how tall this carburetor is. Like, it's got a big space, sort of space down here, then the body of the carb, then the top of the carb, and then the air cleaner way up here. Wow, I don't know if I've seen a one barrel quite that tall. But I mean, obviously that's like a, this should be a removable spacer, I would think. I could be wrong. I don't know these carbs all that well, but pretty darn cool, honestly. And you know, so easy to access everything. Like, there's, take your pick. You know, it might be a little tight for like the distributor, but even that's not that bad. And look at how baby it is. It's so cute. And it's got Lucas silicone plug wires. Doesn't say how big they are though, but they're pretty small. So pretty neat, honestly. I love it. All right, continuing on here. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Here we have a sweet old Dodge. I think this is a, I can't remember if this is a 12 valve or 24 valve, but this thing is pretty sweet with the flat deck on the back and everything. Like, this thing is ready to party. You know, with a nice, you know, gooseneck on it. Pretty awesome. And everything is all set up lovely on this thing, 100%. You know, it's got, now, is this the fuel tank, or is this the, or is this just an extra toolbox or something? Maybe, I don't know. But pretty awesome how it's built. Oh, it's not open, but it does have a stick. I do remember that. And I can't remember how many miles this one had, but this is pretty sweet with the American racing wheels and everything. Hell yeah. What's not to love? Even these tinted out headlights. And those are actually aftermarket, because those are DRLs too. So this thing would be pretty sweet going down the road. Let's see, can I see the tach or the mileage from here? It's reading 473,000 kilometers, I think is out that side. Wowza. Pretty good shape though overall. All right, and here we have Project Row here pretty much. So let's start out with the caddy on the end here. So this one's a later caddy. It's like a, and also there's this chassis here. We'll check that out in a moment. Four-door Cadillac with an extra tire in the back, apparently. Is it unlocked? Hey, it is too. Hey, there's a key in it. Are these the keys for it? No, they're not. Those are house keys. And there's a bunch of pictures of stuff, so I won't go through all that. There's some parts in here. This thing was the absolute lap of luxury back in its day, and it comes with some extra trim pieces and stuff like that in the back. You know, you got all the power options. Because this is a sedan DeVille from the late 90s. I want to say this is like, or not in late 90s, sorry, late 80s. This is like an 80, I don't know, 88, 89, something like that. Pretty neat though. But it's definitely a project, case in point. I mean, like, the fender and the door don't match the rest of the car. This thing will not go for a lot of money. I can't remember if this one runs or not. Probably a 307 under the hood. It's only reading 187,000 kilometers on it. And it's not horrible, but definitely needs some work. But let's check out this old chassis here. So what even is this? I think it's Chevrolet, because this kind of looks like a Chevy. No, actually, hang on. Actually, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, this is a an earlier Chevy, I think, engine. I want to say this is like a 221 maybe, or a 235 possibly, but don't know for sure. And bone dry in there. Let's see, is this motor? Oh, well, the belt's not hooked up at all. Not even in the slightest. There's no tension on that belt, because I was going to try and spin it over if I could, but nope. And the fact there's no fan clutch on it leads me to believe that it's much, much earlier. It's a pretty sweet old thing here. And the coil mounted upside down is a bit of an interesting touch, but hey, whatever you want to do, I guess. You know, having like the starter just so nicely placed and everything. No, I dig it. Again, there's some box lights here, which leads me to believe 50s. Yeah, because this actually has the dent in it for the spare tire that would have been on the step side versions. Neat. Okay, so this is like a 50s chassis, I'm assuming then. You know, here's the rear diff and everything. Somebody will have to tell me exactly what this is, because I think it's like a 53, 54 maybe, Chevrolet GMC. So let me know. It's pretty cool. Then check out this awesome Merc that is definitely quite the project, because, well, case in point, kind of not really a floor here, because this is, yeah, that's not bolted in at all. But, you know, no dash in it, no engine, no trans. There's a differential up back. That is, well, it ain't no 9-inch. What is the axle up back of this thing? If I can see it properly. That, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. GM 10 volt maybe? Or unless that's like an 8.8 or something. I don't know, somebody have to tell me in the comments, because I'm not as aware of that. Like I know when I see them in a Fox body, but I mean that is 5 lug, so I mean, hard to say. So anyways, pretty neat with some Oldsmobile wheels up front, disc brakes. Not too bad, honestly. It's a decent project and pretty solid overall. Got a little bit of rust, but not too bad. Here is a, so this is after the AE86 when they went front wheel drive for the Toyota Corolla. And obviously this one's the hatchback. Got a decent bit of rust here. This would be just a nice little beater of a car that you could take out and absolutely just enjoy, get amazing gas mileage, and be reliable as hell. You know, because this would have had, like I said, front wheel drive, so I don't even know what engine this would have had, like the 18 RC maybe? Even that I don't think. It's a stick shift. You know, black door panels that are actually not in bad shape at all. The seat, little tour here, but these look like they'd actually hold your ass in place though. It's reading 154,000 kilometers on it, that's it? Wow. Now the big question is, what do we got under the hood? Because I don't know these cars at all, to be honest. I know the earlier ones, like the AE86, AE85s, even though we actually didn't get AE85s over here technically. They were all AE86s from the 80s. Let's see, where is the thingy? There it is. Okay, it's a 1500cc 4-banger. Okay. Let's see, is that carb or not? I can't really see it too well, but pretty neat. Judging by it doesn't say EFI, I'm assuming it's a carburetor. Because I think this is a 88 or 89. Pretty sweet though, I like it. Here we have a Daytona Turbo from the 80s. The pop-up lights and everything. So this would be a little bit earlier because of the pop-ups. Not too late in the line, but with these tail lights, I'd say this is maybe a 89, possibly. Of course, no glass here, and holy crap, there's a bunch of parts. You can see it is a turbo, like it's got the valve cover there. Comes with an extra couple of extra seats, some extra tail lights, door panels, like there's a lot of parts back here. It'd take you a little bit to go through all this, but under the hood though, should be a glorious 2.2 turbo or maybe 2.5 Mitsubishi Turbo. Really? You look popped. Okay, well the motor's not even in it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so this one's in the auction. And I'm assuming the engine's probably somewhere back there too. Pretty nutso, but it's pretty cool though. One of the unloved generations of the Honda Civic. Now, is this one an automatic or a manual? This one's an automatic. So I drove 2008 DXG once. My friend said, oh, hey, you know, she was trying to challenge me to say, oh, you know, she said that young millennials can't drive stick. I'm going, what are you talking about? We can. This one's a 2006 with a 1.8 and it's an EX. So, and I so wanted to, I just didn't because she told me not to. But when she was giving me like the little bit of sass that way, again, we were friends at the time. We're no longer friends anymore. But I wanted to like bang shift it on her, but I didn't because she told me to not exceed 2,000 RPM. I'm like, man, it's a VTEC. Well, I mean, kind of VTEC. It's baby VTEC in that car, but still. Pretty neat cars, honestly. And I love this styling with the coupe and everything. Pretty cool. Here we have a blue bullnose Ford here. What year is this one? I wonder. They don't always put the year on them. It's an F-250. Oh, it's not unlocked. Damn. It's got a 4-speed manual, and it is 4x4, which is nice. It's got a 5-digit odometer, which means it's pre-86. Wow! Super rusty! Wow, it's got a ton of rust. And what's up with this fuel line? It's just, okay, that's kind of weird. At least I think that might be a fuel line. I don't know. But man, this thing is roached right out. Like that box is cooked, you know. The cab is okay. Front fenders are a little rusty. It has a little bull bar on the front of it. I mean, I'm just gonna go cheap. So, I mean, if you want a cheap F-250 that's a bulldoze, there you are. Now, when is the last time you saw one of these? This is a Pontiac Firefly that is a 4-door. It's not really rusty, a little bit of a dent there. These would have used a 3-cylinder, not Daihatsu. I'm trying to think of the engine that they would have used. That GM was in bed with at the time. And very dirty. Needs a detail, something severe. But it smells just like an old GM. That's for sure. Let's see. It's showing 39. Is that 393,000 kilometers on it? That might be 39 or 393. I don't know if it has the individual numbers for the trip or not, but not too bad. And thank you to the people who just passed me there. They're checking out the auction, and they said, "Hey, you're not the one that started the Mustang, are you?" She's like, "Yeah, I am." It's like, "Oh, you left the lights on." I'm like, "Oh shoot," because I drove through a little bit of weather coming in. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll continue on our tour here. Yep, lights are definitely still on. Can't remember turning them on and not turning them off, so let's just shut them off really quick. And also make sure that the battery down enough, because I'm kind of off my battery in this thing, so let's just see. Well, let's start up. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, there we go. And yeah, Hail Mary actually is for sale if you're interested. You know, gonna be doing a little tiny bit of upgrades to her, like upgrading the rad and probably up the timing, doing a couple other little things to it. If you're interested, let me know, because I need money. All right, over here, they have it blocked behind a cement sort of barrier, is a first-gen Porsche Boxster. Now, these are actually mid-engine, and what this is, so actually these came out before the Cayman did, but the Cayman was just like a coupe version of this. Now, these were actually a very good sports car, and what's interesting is when the Cayman came out, it actually way outperformed the 911, so they detuned the engine so that it would not beat it. And it's a 97 Boxster, and they spent $7,000 out of shop doing all this different stuff here. And an out-of-province inspection to boot. Wow. And apparently, insurance put 21 grand on it. I don't think a Boxster's worth that. Maybe to insurance, but I don't know, on the open market, it's hard to say. I haven't seen one of these for sale for a while. They were like dirt cheap at one point. It's not unlocked, but it does have the manual in it, which is cool, 5-speed. These are a good little car. Now, they do have like issues with like IMS bearings and stuff like that, but they can be fantastic, and they're good little performance too. Here is a very clean first-gen Ram. Like, look at the paint on it. It's pretty damn good, honestly. You know, nice white paint on it. It's a 91 with 12 valve. Let's see, is it open? Hey, it is unlocked. It's got a 5-speed in it. Not a 4x4, but that's okay. You know, and these 12 valves will go forever. It's got 244,000 kilometers on it. Not too bad, honestly. Rubber floor mats. Let's just peer underneath. Oh, actually, I was expecting to see a bunch of rust, but no, at least not right there, so awesome. Wow, you don't really have to slam that door. That's a shocker. First-gen Rams, usually you have to reef on it. But, so this one, pretty nice, honestly. You know, good, nicely built flat deck too, with a headache rack on it. Dually axle up back. Now this thing's all right. Spare tire. Wow, yeah, it's not too bad, honestly. And like the welds are really not the worst, but not the best. You know, definitely a homebrew job, but pretty good overall though. And this thing, yeah, I'm curious what this thing will go for. I can imagine it's actually quite a bit of money because it's pretty clean, but we shall see. Here we go, a Ram Van Prospector. It is a 3/4 ton. And this one, okay, so it's got the stacked headlights like this. So this is early to mid 80s. And these things are pretty sweet. Back in their day, you know, this has the full captain, oh, it's not unlocked. But you know, full captain's chairs and everything out front. Oh, hell yeah. Let's see, is nope, nothing's unlocked. But it's not in bad shape at all, honestly. Let's see, is this back door unlocked? Nope. Apparently they like Australia. There you go. But overall, pretty darn cool. A little bit of rust starting around the fuel door there. Kind of a common spot. And a tiny bit, you know, there's some Bondo here. Yeah, and some Bondo right here. Yeah, so it's not horrible, but it's not great. Yeah, that's locked too. But honestly, they're pretty cool vans. I've always been a fan of these. And you know, it can be yours if you bid the highest amount. Lot 212 cents. But then moving on here, we have this Mazda B2200. Don't worry, I'll get to the Daytona here in a moment. So these were a little pickup truck that Mazda did back in the day. Apparently has no brakes. Good to know. It shows 162,000 kilometers on it, so it might not actually be that bad. Like, it looks kind of rough, but 5-speed manual on it. And so these trucks were made by Mazda, and this body style from, it was like early 80s to like mid 90s. And they're really not that bad of a truck. They're very reliable overall, but this one, obviously, it's missing some parts. Like, case in point, where's the bumper, you know? This truck has lost its bumper privileges, apparently. And also, the hood doesn't sit quite right, so obviously, might be a little bit of a bent hood there, too. So, fun, fun. But then right beside it, we have the Shelby Daytona. Now, you can see cracked on the bottom there for the front bumper cover. Pretty common. It's got these Eagle alloys, which look freaking sweet on there, actually. I like those. A little bit of dry rotting on the tires, though, so I wouldn't really ride on these tires. However, the rims are okay. It seems to be missing the trim piece here. And another trim piece. Let's see, is the door handle broken? Because a lot of them are. Nope, actually this one still works. All right, it's got white seats in the front with red seats in the back. Red seats probably original. And the front seats are just trash. It smells very dingy in here. And like chemically too. Now it has 195,000 kilometers on it. It does have an oil pressure gauge that's added. Should have a boost gauge somewhere too. Ah, there it is. There is the boost gauge. Pretty cool. And then you have, you know, your pop-up up and down headlights, right? And these manuals, actually this one feels all right. The last one of these that I felt did not feel near this good. So I wonder if this has the upgraded bushings and stuff on it. Because from factory, they were kind of sloppy from what I've heard. You know, with the T-tops and everything. Oh. Okay, so window is not exactly the tightest in that slot, so you have to be a little careful. Yeah, because case in point, it hits right there. So be very careful closing the door on this. Whatever, I don't want to break the glass. So, it comes with another bumper cover in the back. That's all right. Another air filter back there. Oh, it came from Lethbridge. There you go, Lethbridge Nissan. Pretty neat, my hometown. I grew up there anyways, so. Yeah, overall, it's in actually pretty nice shape. The clear coat is kind of peeling a bit. It's got the T-tops and stuff. I don't see that it's really wet in there, so they don't seem to be leaking. But yeah, pretty neat. I love it. All right, so here we have a mid-70s. I want to say that's like 75, 70 through 77, I believe, is this gen. Very, very muddy through here. That's okay. Luckily, I'm wearing my boots. So this F250, really awesome trucks and actually pretty comfortable going down the road because they are a twin I-beam front suspension. They got leafs out back, of course, but you know, that twin I-beam helps it out a ton. And actually, it kind of looks like they might be locking rear end too, which is a nice little feature. Inside, 4-speed manual. I'm curious what's under the hood. Now, I don't know if there's a hood release in here or not. Probably not. Usually, and the seat. Not really mounted, so that's good to know. I think it's just a thing at the front, and you can see the fuse box down there. Old school glass fuses. Or that style anyways. Kind of clear, but kind of missing part of the door panel here. That side still has it all in place. Oh God, so muddy. So muddy. Let's see. It should be. I should know enough about these trucks. Let's see. It's a little sticky, but I did get it, so. There we go. Okay, it is a V8 under the hood. I was fully expecting an inline 6, to be honest. Brand new air filter though, so that's all right. Let's see, what engine is this puppy? Because this kind of looks like an FE, but I could be wrong. Let's see, survey says 351. Okay, so this is a 351 modified. That's why it looks kind of funky. So, because yeah, it kind of looks similar to a Cleveland because they are sort of a Cleveland. These, because the Cleveland only existed from 68 to 73, I believe. 74. And then they replaced it with the modifieds, which these are just a modified Cleveland. That's why they're called a 351M and 400M. Good little engines though, but, and you can make a decent amount of power out of them. Plus, a lot of stuff's interchangeable with, you know, the Clevelands. But pretty neat. Yeah, I'm not going to continue walking around this because it's all muddy around here. So, why is it all muddy around the vehicle I want to look at? Lame. Here we go. We have a square body GMC Suburban here, which is pretty neat. It's a 72, according to that. Actually, no, it's not a 72. What am I talking about? It's got a 72 plate on it, but this is clearly 80s. Don't always trust the plate that's on the front of a vehicle. Let's see. This thing. Trim's kind of coming off a little bit. Showing 150,000 kilometers on it, which is not too bad. You know, and it's... Oh, horn doesn't seem to be working. Either that or it's the thing's not hooked up in there. Let's see, what's under the hood? Because these could have a plethora of engines, whether it's a 305, a 350, a 454. Could be either one. Let's see, service as. Oh, all right. That actually kind of looks like a 454 with the wide valve covers like that. So pretty neat. I like that they paint match the air cleaner. Let's see, what does it say under here? 7.4. Yeah, that'd be a 454. So there you go. So this is a 454 GMC Suburban. Ooh, with a giant tow mirrors on it, and not in bad shape at all. Like, it's got a little bit of condition issues here and there, but you know, like tiny bit happening on the back door here, a little bit on the rear fenders, some paint peeling up here, because actually there's black underneath. That kind of looks like this might have been replaced at one point. The roof is starting to rust a little bit, you know, and this rust on the back door here. But blower butter. There you go. That's what that is. Another battery back here, spare tire. You know, the rear bench seat is not installed, but it's there. This thing's in pretty nice shape overall. Like, again, it does have its little bit of rust here and there, but not awful. I mean, it's mid comparatively to the C10 that's next to it. Now this one's 70s because it's got the round headlights, right? This is 79 in back. Well, it says 1980, but it's got a 79 in back front end on it, so I will say that. But pretty darn cool. 4x4, so with the locking hubs up, but it's a beater. It's a beater with a heater. Well, it might have a heater. Probably does. Metal bed floor, because again, it's square body, so they would have a metal bed floor. It's got louvers. Now let's see, these are ABS plastic, yeah. So, and they're not really mounted properly because it also broke down here too. See, with these, I just put two-sided tape on them, and that's how they're mounted on my Mustang. So that's what I do here before it just totally breaks away, because it's a old school ABS plastic. It's not exactly the toughest stuff in the world. It is manual too, 4-speed, nice. Actually, correction, that is a 3-speed with a low, so it is a 4-speed, but my uncle's truck has one of those, and he has a 77 C20. Pretty neat truck though. I dig it. I dig it. Now let's see. Does it have? It should be right here. Just. Yep. There we go. Because some of these have a pull inside, but most of the 70s ones you open from outside. Let's see. And that puppy is a 350. There you go. See, look at how small the valve covers are comparatively to that 454, right? Like, just a big difference. But pretty neat. Not too bad underneath the hood either. And I bet this thing is reliable as all hell, because it's a square body, right? They don't really break that much. So, ooh! Frick, those hinges need to be greased up a little bit. But, pretty sweet. Love it. Alright, so here we have a Fiero. This one, now they said they could not confirm the year for some reason. Like, it's Fiero GT. But, I looked up the VIN and it said it was an 85. So, like, what's the dealio there, right? Let's see, broken door handle, nice. Automatic, not as nice. Well, both aren't nice. Let's see, it's showing 32,565, so that's definitely rolled over. Handbrake is not on. Now these were a mid-engine project that GM did throughout the 80s. Starting in 1982 until 1987 or 88, so they didn't last too terribly long. But you can see the little V6 out back. Let's see, can I find the hood pull? Let's see. I, for the life of me, cannot find the hood pull in this thing. I wonder if it's just like a, hey, you need to like physically unlock it, because this should. Yeah, because it should just open up, but it is locked in place and you can't just push it. It's not one of those styles, so pretty cool car though. And like I said, they can't confirm if it runs or not, so. But neat cars, not very reliable. However, pretty darn cool for their day. Now, this is the vehicle that my buddy wanted me to check out for him. This is a Toyota Echo, which I don't believe in the States you guys got the Echo. I think it was just the Yaris down there. Now, we got both. It's kind of weird that they did the Echo and the Yaris pretty much at the same time. But these are a reliable little car, although this one's very rotted, though. I don't know if he should go for this. And I know it needs like front end work and stuff, and obviously it's like, I mean, depending on how cheap it goes, because it might just be a decent parts car for his wife's car. This one has a stick though, which is kind of neat. And it's an RS, so this would have the 1.6 in it, I think, because normally they came standard with a 1.3. Let's see if I remember my Toyota information well. Let's see, where's the thing? There it is. And now I cannot tell actually what it is. It's obviously a 4-bagger. I mean, they only came with 4 cylinders, but that's fine. You know, it looks pretty okay. I need to find the hood prop. Hang on. All right, there we go. So let's check out the dipstick here. It's a plastic dipstick on these. Are you kidding me? Wow, I did not know that. That's an easily breakable thing. I like to have metal, to be honest, with my dipsticks. Now, I don't have the keys or anything because, well, like I said, they're closed. So this thing does have an LED, you know, light bar here, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so there's this little thing. I mean, it might be decent. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't realize they were going to close today. I thought they would have been open. But I can check as an example. So they already have this all opened up here. And also, like, the speedometer's in the middle and they're electronic odometer, so I couldn't tell you, but you can see how the shift actuation works here, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5th, and that's reverse. Let's see, does the clutch feel like anything? Oh, it definitely has a clutch there. Feels like it might, but until you actually are running it, it's hard to say. But very, very dirty inside. You know, definitely needs a detail in here. And there's a shift boot right here, so at least you have it, right? But now, does that just twist right off or no? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Just want to check that, and yeah, pretty decent. I've always found these things a bit uncomfortable though. It's just the seats are like very, very firm for me. But because otherwise, I might actually buy one of these. But yeah, pretty cool though. Well, not that cool, but cool enough, anyways. All right, well, that'll about wrap this up because the rest of these are just like, yeah, you know, like a Volkswagen Beetle, which is kind of neat, but meh. So, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for a bit of the wind noise. It's probably putting about. Actually, wait a minute. There's one vehicle I missed. Because, when's the last time you actually saw a Sunfire on the road? And there's one right here. Now, is this one rotted out? Oh, it's not. Really? It's an 03, 305,000 kilometers. Everything works. Great mileage. Great to drive. Had a bunch of new stuff put on in the past year or so. That's not bad. And, oh, have the receipts to back it up. Nice. See, that's the one thing you want to see. Now, these were a cheap throwaway car by GM at the time. Doesn't mean it's a bad car or anything, but basically what throwaway cars was, hey, you bought this, and then once it gave you anything that is a decently major issue, you just tossed it, right? You moved on to the next car, then these became like $500 cars. But this one's actually pretty nice. This one could go for, I mean, it's not gonna be a super high dollar car or anything, but you know, it is a manual here, which let's see how that feels. Ooh, the shifts feel pretty good actually. They're not super sloppy or anything. Now, I'm assuming non-sinker reverse, because it doesn't seem to want to go into reverse, because that's 4th. Maybe it needs the clutch in? Let's see, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It won't go into reverse. So that is a little troublesome. But has a horn. And yeah, so I do wonder what's up with that, if it not going to go into reverse. However, these are not bad little vehicles. And people hooned the crap out of these things back in the day. Now it does need a detail. Pretty good, but overall, not too bad. So other than the reverse. But like I said, thank you so much for all y'all watching. Stay tuned for more content. I do have some stuff planned that'll be going out in the next couple of weeks. You know, visiting my friend Julie, maybe doing some modifications to the car. It's gonna be fun. So anyways, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And also, Down in the description below, there should be 1 or 2 links down there. Actually, I think there's only one. The one link is for Flash Shark Racing. If you use my code KAT15 in all caps at checkout, you'll receive 15% off your order. So go check them out. They have a lot of like headers, cold air intakes, some other accessories, headlight like bulbs and stuff. So go check them out. Honestly, they're pretty good and they treat me very well. So, anyways, hope to see you guys again soon. Peace out.